We are with our Friday live. Listen, shout out to everybody watching this live. For those watching on the replay, salute to you as well. It's the Friday live brought to you by the Hood. This is Jimmy, your host as always. I got my partner in crime, Corey. McCoy, what's up, good brother?
That's really good, Jim.
Hey man, I ain't got no complaints, man. Everything's good. I woke up this morning, so I'm great, man. You
Right?
dig? Yeah, man. Listen, for the people watching live, let us know who's here. I see a number of folks coming in now. We're gonna, get started in a couple minutes as more of our folks get here. Wait for our folks to get here as always. You know what I mean? Let's see who we got in the building. Keep it moving. What's good? What's good? Oh, my brother Don. Don, what's really good? Don, man, I just want to tell you, brother, like you've been killing it lately on the socials, man. If don't nobody tell you, I'm gonna tell you, man. Love reading your content. I find new people by the people that you retweet and all that. So Don, you've been doing your thing in terms of the Black Wealth, man. I like to see you get out there more, man. So salute to you. Salute to you, Don. Chaz is in the building. What's up, Chaz? Mike is in the building. Mike, how are you? We got folks on both YouTube as well as Facebook here. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Show us some love. You know what I mean? My brother Core got the big red Kool-Aid juice. You know what I'm saying? We keeping it cultural and whatnot.
Yeah, man.
we keeping it cultural and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I'm sitting with the.
I'm in the
joint on the Sprite bottle because keep it real ghetto. But it is what it is.
You know what else comes in Sprite bottle?
No, none of that, dog. Just a little no, none of that. I ain't with that. I do not do drugs. I don't smoke. I don't
lots
drink.
of good things come in Sprite
I got
bottle.
a lot of bad habits. I got a lot of bad habits, but I don't smoke or drink. I just eat too much. I'm working on that too, though. Like the Lord is working on me, man. So I'm trying to get my life right, man. I'm trying to get my health right, man. Ashley is in the building. Ho! She gave me a compliment on my head. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna I'm gonna sit in that for a second, Ash.
I mean, luxurious is the way she was looking. She had the whole grease. She took pics of the whole grease while she was out there.
Callie is in the building. Callie,
hey, what's going on? Congrats to you.
So much great news going on with you. Congratulations on your first settlement. Callie and Kahan, I hope y'all both here. I want to ask y'all a question. I meant to text you, Kahan. This is some real nerd stuff. But I actually watch the city council hearings that take place in Philadelphia because unlike most of my my other fellow residents, most people don't care. But I like to see what kind of laws are passed, what kind of laws come up. So I'm a real nerd. So I was sitting there watching it the other night, right? First, and the reason I say most people don't care is because they be passing some crazy laws, and I'm looking at the views. That joint got 80 views. I'm like, we in the city of over 1 million folks, and only 80 people have seen what the politicians are putting in play. With all that being said, I could have swore I saw y'all daughter at the council hearing and get acknowledged by the council people. Let me know because it was her class. Let me know if that was her or not. If not, she has a doppelganger in the city. But let me know. Let me know if that was y'all. I mean, she's a star student in our camp, so I know she does great things. But Callie and Kahan, let me know if that was her. Was she in front of the
star? Period.
Yeah, was she in front of city council? Don Trey is in the building. Kahan is here, so Kahan is here. Don Trey was really good with you. Tanelia was there. He said, "I got perks in mine." No, I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
You don't want no trouble.
Hey, Diggy is in the building. I watch my city council. All right, so GC, I ain't the only one, man. I ain't alone in
and
this.
That's not nerdy. That's just called good. That's just called good.
Listen,
good
man,
citizen.
you get some information, dog. I was sitting there watching how on specific blocks they were literally changing the zoning. I'm like, you can get some information. You can bust a play. I actually got into a little bit with one of the city councilors. He gonna have to get rid. Oh, okay. Also, GC getting active with it. He not just watching it. He getting active. All right. See, I know I ain't crazy. She was there, so that was her. All right. So salute.
See.
All right. So y'all know I was watching. I definitely was watching. I knew that was her. And they was giving her props because her and her class got the speed bumps put in front of their school. They were complaining about the people trying to race down the street in front of their school. And they went out there and they
action.
And they advocated for themselves, got in front of the council people, and you know what I mean? So I think that's dope.
That's hot.
Dope. Rochelle, what's up, sis? How are you? All right, yep. See, told you I wasn't BSing. I really do be watching. All right, so that was her. Tell her we said hi and tell her great work. She's out here doing her civic duties too.
She getting to it.
Yeah, that was dope. Y'all doing an amazing job, Callie and Kahan. So congratulations to y'all. Today's show, we're going to talk a little bit about Amazon. We got a short show today, man. My brother Corey got a lot going on, man. I ain't trying to somber the moment, man, but my brother Corey lost his aunt, so we dealing with that. So, we're not going to be on here a whole lot because he has to deal with the funeral tomorrow, man. So, publicly, man, I want to offer my condolences. I already talked to you privately, man, but you know what it is, bro. Absolutely, absolutely. With that being said, everybody, please do me a favor, hit the like button. We only got so many. Okay, Cajon, I got you. As soon as I get off here, I'll shoot you a text with the video. It's on YouTube, but I got you though. I got you. We got a condolences pouring in. Keep it moving. Says condolences to you, good brother.
Thank you.
So here's the thing though. Tweet Talk is also shout out to Tweet Talk, man. Tweet Talk sent me a message this week. You will not bother him. He gave me so much powerful information about different sites, different monies out there for Black folks trying to get in tech. So I'm reading through the information and trying to figure out a way to kind of like put that back out there. So a lot of times when people find things, they send it to me, and Tweet Talk sent me a lot of great information. Shout out to our brother Kerry, our DCG brother. He actually sent me something today too. Let me read this real quick. There's something called the Philly Seed Scholarships, where they're giving anywhere between 1,000 and 5,000 for anyone. So here's the thing: if you're a resident of a PHA housing, you can get, and that's regular housing or a scattered site, you can get up to $5,000 given to you. So if you know anybody like that, let me know. But shout out to Tweet Talk for sending me the information, man. I appreciate when you guys find resources and share it, because that's what it's all about. Ashley also sends a condolences to you for Tay. What's good, Tay? How are you? So Tay's here. I assume Dan is here. So what's good, Dan? But Core, man, today we're going to talk real briefly about what's going on with Amazon, man. It was a rumor came out about Amazon. I'll share the article and read a little bit about it. But it's one of the bigger companies that a lot of our folks follow, a lot of our folks own, a lot of our folks trade. So this was interesting information, and it shook the market a little bit. So let me
it shook the combo section for sure.
Yeah, and that's specifically what I'm talking about, right? So I'll be playing around in that sector just a little bit. Let me share this real fast though, and get it popping. All right, real quick. Let me get the article. So for those that may not know what I'm talking about, Amazon is reportedly in talks to bundle mobile phone service as a part of its Prime perk. So they've been adding things to Prime literally since the beginning. I remember when Prime first started and it was just about like free shipping. They added video, they added music, they added like a little bit of cloud storage. They can consistently add things. Now, they're not adding things out of the kindness of their heart. They're also consistently raising the price of what it means to be a Prime member. I forgot the first Prime. I think it was like 59 or 50, but something like that. But it's consistently been going up. So this is from The Verge, but it's on every site. You can go to Yahoo Finance and find it. It's on Bloomberg. It's on Wall Street Journal. But I was reading a little tech news. So I'm going to read it from here. It says the e-commerce giant is said to be negotiating with Verizon as well as T-Mobile and Dish to provide service via their networks. Now, so it's talking about adding this as a feature. I'm not going to read this entire article, but what's interesting about it is they want to make it available to Prime members as either a part of their existing subscription or for a nominal $10 a month fee. So $10 a month if you're a Prime member for cell service. Now, in the statement, Amazon spokesperson denies that it's actively planning to add wireless connectivity to Prime, which means they probably are.
They lying.
It says we are always exploring adding even more benefits for Prime members, but don't have plans to add wireless at this time. So it says that Bloomberg says that this could take months to launch, and it may be scrapped entirely, but the feeler is out there. So here's another thing that's interesting about this. I don't know if people know this already. Let me go down to the bottom. Google already has Google Fi, which is very similar. It runs on top of T-Mobile, but it's extremely cheap. But it's through Google, and there's only certain phones you can use with it. There's a lot of different things with it. But I know someone that has a shot to Omar. I don't know if O is watching, but because they're here a couple Fridays, every other Friday he's usually here. But Omar, who's a member of Bodyhill Hill University, he has Google Fi, and I know that because me and him talk about it, and he explains it's not that it changes the way you use your phone, but I know that he was telling me certain phones, obviously Google's phone specifically is the one he has, and that's what it worked with. So Amazon has tried this in the past, Core. I don't remember this, but in 2014 it had a Fire phone.
I don't.
That joint was what's the ball play for Portland? Sabonis. That joint was Garbitas Sabonis. That joint was straight garbage. That joint was garbage. It was like they put Android operating system on it, but it was like plastic. It was completely trash. They had put too much bloatware on it for it to operate any way that I found usable. But it shook the market. It shook the comm market in terms of like the communication sector and what was happening with them. Also, like
up like the Fat Boys jump. Or was that me?
I don't know, but let me stop sharing this because sometimes sometimes it happens when I share my screen.
I think your computer is freezing, or is it me?
I mean, I just took the screen down. Let me know if you're still freezing to you, bro. Am I good? That must be you then. I mean, I can hear me. I don't know. Everybody watching, let me know if you can hear me. Jamil is in the building. D12, what up, though? How are you? So, according to me, my signal is good. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Everybody in the chat, let me know if you can hear me or you can hear Corey. So, put some respect on Sabonis' game. All right, so good on this end. I think, Corey, can you hear me? Because you frozen, bro. All right, so let me see. Let me see if Corey can come back then. Real quick though, I get Prime for free with my Metro PCS service. Hold up. You get Prime for free through Metro? So you get Amazon Prime through Metro? I didn't know that was possible. All right. Yo, shout out to Sabonis. Sabonis had game. I mean, he came over when he was like nice and old, but I remember watching his highlights when he was, back in his home country and he was a baller. But even when he came here, yeah, still had a little bit of game left. He was slow as molasses, but he was still good. All right. Appreciate that, Rochelle. And she's also saying Corey froze. So the question I want to ask you guys watching is really about Amazon, though. What are your feelings on Amazon long term? Because I saw a lot of people when this news broke was like, look, this is helping them to create a bigger moat in terms of them constantly adding things to Prime. It just makes Prime more valuable. And if you get people locked in like that, they'll never leave anywhere. It's interesting because I was watching Amazon Prime Video the other day. They got a lot of good stuff on there, but their interface is so bad. I don't know if it's just me. Y'all let me know. Any of y'all watch Amazon Prime Video? I go on there and I never end up watching anything. I'm like, that looks good. I watch a trailer. That looks good. But their interface is so terrible. So, let's see. I already said that if I had to bet on one company for the next 100 years, then it would be Amazon. That's always an interesting question, GC. I like to ask people that every once in a while to see if their opinion changes. I've heard people say things like Facebook, Google, obviously, Amazon, Apple. I mean, it's hard to bet against Apple because that's like betting on a church. But you believe Amazon is that company. Sabonis versus the Dutchman in the paint. Yeah, two slow dudes. They have already dominated the market as is. They're only going to get better. Now, one of the reasons that they're always constantly looking to get into different sectors and things like that is because of growth. Investors are always looking for growth, especially tech companies. So they have dominated, but their growth is seemingly slowing, so they have to do different things. That's why Apple gets into banking and people talk about Apple trying to foray their way into healthcare because they have to find new markets to find growth. So this is just something new. But also, again, it adds value to that Prime membership. Corey, you back, brother?
Man, that was Charles. He knocked me off the internet. He kicked the internet cord up. I'm on my phone, John, until the internet goes back up.
Shout out to young Charles, man. That's his crib, man. You should be happy he letting you share space with him, man. Shout out to young Charlie, man. That's the young legend, man. But no, what we're talking about Amazon and why Amazon gets into new spaces because they have to find somewhere to grow. GC had mentioned that Amazon, if he had to bet on one company for the next 100 years, that's the company he would be looking at. Let's see. All right. I'm just watching how many industries they're touching. Dan, that's always interesting to me too, right? Because historically speaking, a lot of times that's when companies get in trouble, right? When they start doing too much and getting in industries they really have no business in. Because I guess if it all works together, but you can kind of justify everything working together, right? You can play the DirecTV game. You watch the DirecTV commercials, they'd be like, well, if you do this, then that means you do this, and that means you do this. You can kind of play that game with anything, but I remember specifically watching GE play that game, and it didn't fare well for them. They had GE Aerospace. They had GE Electronics. They had GE. They had mortgages. Why is General Electric giving mortgages out? You know, I mean, they went so far, and it kind of like took the company in a different direction, and then they came back and they spun things off. Even J&J, you know, got into different spaces, and they just had a spin off as well. Corey, you there, bro?
I'm here now.
All right, look, you was frozen again.
I was.
All right,
Charles
so
not paying me no attention. So
hey, listen, Charles in charge, man, of your days and your lives. All right, so listen, Don says that for 100 years he's going waste management.
I agree with Don.
It's not bad.
It's a company that's never going anywhere.
You said trash gonna be here, huh?
Humans create trash. They're never going anywhere.
Here's what I'll tell you. If I had to bet on 100 years, I'm not picking any one company. I'm going S&P. Yo, and I'm gonna tell you why though. I was thinking about this the other day because I was, you know, again reading some historic stuff, and I was actually watching the History Channel. They have the one on YouTube, and they have like the Men Who Built America, and they go into all these different like people and stuff they do to build America. And I'm laughing because most of these companies that have been around for years and years and years, it's never about the product or the space they're in. It's about management. Management is probably the most important thing.
Yep.
And you just don't know who's going to take over what. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, Apple, you know, the reason that Apple did what they did is because if you look at the numbers, Tim Cook might be a better CEO than Steve Jobs. And I know that's like blasphemous to say because of the cult following, but everybody don't have a Tim Cook in the wings. So what happens to Facebook when Zuck, say what you want about Zuck, but he's ruthless and he's built this. I saw today they have something like listed over 3 billion users.
Yep.
People was counting Facebook out a couple years ago, and they're still growing. Yeah, people talk a lot of trash about Facebook, but Facebook be popping. Like people be on Facebook as much. People be on Facebook talking about how they hate Facebook.
Why? Because grown folks buy off Facebook, so that's where people run their ads. People run their ads on Google and on Facebook because that's where grown people buy from.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing, right? So, long term, man, that's why I say, look, this is about the S&P because you don't know who's going to take over from these guys who were like looming figures. So, let's see what else we got into here. Don says they are reaching into new markets, which is good, but can also go away from the circle of competence. Don, that is exactly my point.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do too much. Only use Prime for free shipping during the annual trial. But it will definitely put a dent in Metro, Boost, Straight Talk, Track Phone, even Obama phone. Oh, okay, I got you. The Obama phones. They did Obama dirty, yo. They call Obama. They start calling them joints Obama phones. Even this healthcare bill, they called it Obamacare. Like, I think you're right. But who would have thought AWS made sense? Yeah, business is so funny. Toyota started as a loom company. Business is absolutely funny. When you start to see how some of these companies start as one thing and then progress into something else, right?
That's what DirecTV is trying to do.
Yeah, listen, man. I mean, you know, it is what it is, man. Facebook growing because our aunties got 6 pages. Yo, Tanelia, I'm laughing at that because I swear my mother-in-law got on her 4th page. She be locking herself out of her own pages, or she fall for the okie doke, click somebody's link. Now she locked out of her page. I'm like, yo, stop sending me requests, dog. Like, you got a new page. But shout out to everybody with the new pages. I got another uncle right now who just sent me a friend request. I'm not even sure if that's him or not. And I'm like, yo, Unc, you got to stop going into them pun groups. I know what you be doing. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, he sent me a friend request. But, yeah, I think that's part of it, Tanelia. They're going to keep growing. Yo, Tanelia's hilarious, yo. Which has had the better return over the past 20 years, the S&P or the NASDAQ? Great question. Let me look it up because I don't want to misquote. If I had to assume, I'll probably say you said 20-year period, so I'll probably say the NASDAQ.
Yeah.
Like, over those 20 years. But you know, I'm still going S&P because I can zoom out for a longer period of time. All right, so let me see. No one's giving me 20 years specifically. Maybe somebody can find that for me because I ain't got time to like do the full breakdown. But if I had to assume, considering
the NASDAQ,
yeah, I'm just thinking about the tech boom
over the last 20 years.
But let's talk about, you know, last 100 years. But I would assume that just based upon like, you know, the tech boom. That's what I would assume. I'm not sure though, to answer your question though, Jamil. But you know, I just go by MGK, man. Shout out to anybody who is part of my MGK gang, man. And by the way, anything we say on here is not investment advice.
At
It's
all.
educational and
At
informational.
all.
Because my MGK been booming. You know what I mean? NVIDIA is one
At
of the
all.
If you were deeply involved in cloud computing 20 years ago and saw how difficult it was to actually host your own servers, you could definitely see AWS becoming a big thing. Yeah, and also Azure is very huge in that space too. I didn't realize how much of the space they have. Like Azure, Google, and AWS all got like they all got full secondary businesses just with those things.
Cloud computing by itself.
Yeah, and I definitely tried to host my own server back in the years ago because I was trying to find a place to put all my LimeWire and Napster stuff. But that's neither here nor there. Shout out to everybody from back in those days. I mean, if you was around, you know what I'm talking about. DirecTV has been all over the place the past 20 years. How they're still in business beyond me. We're gonna see now that they don't have football. We're gonna see what they really made of.
That's why they're trying to move into the telephone space, and so they're trying to become, they trying to go from the little brother to the big brother using Amazon. Because if Amazon use them, is the others they about to have the craziest competition ever.
Yeah,
and that's what the rumors is that DirecTV is the one that they trying to link with and actually compete with them other people instead of linking up with them, which would be terrible for all the rest of them.
We'll see what happens with that. Do you think getting into it because but DirecTV, man, I don't know why they didn't get into streaming 10, 15 years. I used to wonder, like, anyway.
Y'all had the head start. Why wouldn't y'all get in front of it?
You know how many stories, listening to podcasts, all those listen to podcasts these days, business podcasts, how many folks know things will be the future, but sometimes, man, it's difficult. It's difficult when you're winning. Not just pivot. Think about if you're winning, right? You are absolutely winning and you're up 100 million and someone tell you this next thing is about to like really disrupt you.
Wipe you up.
And you like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's why certain people in different spaces, I always look at this as it pertains to leadership, even bigger than just business. Like, I'm always impressed. Like, I read a lot of sports biographies because the all-time greats, I don't know how they do it, right? Because if you're LeBron James or you're Michael Jordan, anybody of that ilk, how do you consistently get up to do the things that you do when you're already, up several M's? You're already considered one of the all-time greats. Like if you're Tom Brady, why are you coming back? You know what I mean? Like I'm interested in the mentality of that because I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Let me win one chip and get one contract, man. I'm gonna be like J.R. Smith, dog. I'm not
speed on out here, go back to college.
I'm gonna be like J.R. Smith, dog. Like, but see, to me, that's what's interesting. So I look at it like as it pertains to business. But if I'm running a business, I'm
between LeBron, J.R. Smith, and somebody like Jordan and LeBron, and somebody like J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith never wanted to be the greatest player alive, and I think that's the difference between them. You know what I mean? Like you got Brian. He been at it for 20 years at the top. Like he's never been outside the top 5, top 6 players in the league in 20 years.
No, like, I understand that. So you're saying that is what they're reaching for, but what gives you that drive, right? Because there's been a lot of people who have come in and were given that kind of hype, but a lot of them didn't want it. Remember what Pat Beverly said? Pat Beverly's like, yo, half of the league doesn't care.
Just collecting checks.
I had a couple NBA players tell me that, man. I had a gentleman that played for the Bulls with long hair. I ain't gonna say his name. He told me like one time personally, like, yo, these dudes don't even care about winning.
They looking for contracts. They trying to get numbers.
Y'all know who I'm talking about, but I ain't gonna say no names though.
But I know exactly what you're talking about.
But the point is though, he's told me like, yo, a lot of these dudes don't care about winning. So I think about that like in the business sense. If you're on top of your industry and you're up. It's hard to look down at someone coming up with, even if they're innovating or whatever. It's hard to look at that.
You know what winners know? Winners get paid more. LeBron made a billy while he was still playing, like, and that's because he's won consistently. He went to the finals 10 straight years. I mean,
that's part of it.
He got exposure. He got exposure longer than any other athlete for 10 years.
So
and that's
that's
why he
part of it, but
came out on the
it's
top.
also timing. LeBron thing is more about timing than anything else. I'm gonna tell you why. I was looking at a breakdown of Ja, even though he's going through what he's going through now. He was on pace to get it faster than Bron. So it's interesting. It's interesting, and that's without winning anything, by the way. It's economics of the league right now, but it's interesting because people are literally like, standing on the shoulders of other folks. Other folks have laid the blueprint, whether that's going all the way back
I
to
mean,
Doc.
listen, man. I remember
Doc
when
making it
James
possible
Harden
for
got that
Magic.
damn Adidas contract. I was looking at that thing like, my man signed a $400 million contract with Adidas, and then got caught wearing Jordans the next day. But anyway, I'm on my.
But Ja was on pace to get a two and some change just from the Grizzlies, right? He was also on pace to get 200 and some odd million from that. He was on pace to get almost half a bill just from Nike in Memphis. And remember, he's still like 23, 24. So he was on pace. I don't know what's going to happen. And the crazy part about the NBA is the salary and everything is getting ready to go up. But this next TV deal is getting even higher. You're going to have dudes that don't get in the game making like 20 million a year. But anyway, with that being said, though, it's interesting to see how people like don't take their foot off the gas. And I remember a teacher in business school told me, he was like, if you're not looking to put yourself out of business, somebody else is. So you should always be looking to put yourself out of business by innovating and doing things yourself.
Reinventing yourself.
Yeah, but it's got to be difficult from a mental standpoint.
It does.
Let me get back to this question from Keep It Moving. Do you think they're getting into because how Ryan Reynolds came up selling? So Ryan Reynolds did come up, but I doubt Amazon's looking at him. Like they're playing in a whole different space. Like,
yeah,
I feel like if they did that, they added to Prime, add a couple more dollars on the Prime. Does anybody know the total amount of Amazon Prime members they have? If anybody can look it up for me. How many Prime members does Amazon have right now? Because that's always interesting to me. I always like to see that kind of number because I'm like, yo, if they just add $1, which doesn't really affect anybody, how much could they generate? AWS is really just an enterprise software as a service business. Yeah. Yeah. So you remember LimeWire. Don't front line. I wasn't the only one. Shot the LimeWire, yo. It's like telling 2003 Shaq to start shooting threes. See, Shaq's another one, though. Like, Shaq got serious for a 3-year period and was probably one of the greatest players I've ever seen play when they won in that three-peat. Outside of that, though, Shaq had way too much fun. But if Shaq had that mentality for his whole career, we talking about something.
Probably like 8 chips.
Yeah, he probably would. We'd be talking about something different.
He had like 8 chips.
But now let's think about it this way, though. Who's had more fun than Shaq? Shaq has done it all. Shaq, while he was
I can tell you who had more fun than Shaq.
Who's had more fun than Shaq?
AI.
Man. I'm not going to do
that. We all know because we in the city.
Did you see that new doc, Everything But the Chip?
Everything But the Chip. I didn't watch it yet.
Doug, it's one part. It's not ruining anything. It's one part of that joint where he's like late and they suspend him for a game or whatever because he didn't make practice. He missed a couple practice. So he's coming into the arena and they're like, you didn't make practice, so you can't play. They're like, why didn't you make practice? I'm waiting for him to see what he's gonna say. My man looked right in the camera, was like, yo, I went out last night. He's like, so you know what I mean? It is what it is. He just told him with a straight face, like, y'all went out last night. I'm like, yo, AI is out of control.
Yeah,
out of control.
No one had more fun than AI.
He had fun. He definitely had fun. Shout out to Bubba Chuck, man. No Bubba Chuck slander. No Bubba Chuck slander. No, I know. I'm letting everybody else know, man. We not allowed. No Bubba Chuck slander is allowed.
There was none intended. I was just
living Philadelphia legend. I was outside with Bubba Chuck. We all were. So
we was.
Bubba Chuck. They're probably afraid of becoming irrelevant. Legacy thinking, I suppose. Right. I get that, but I'm just thinking about human nature, right? When you have all the resources, you have somewhat of the fame. A lot of people chase fame, but you have fame and resources. Like, how do you consistently just like get up when you don't feel like it? You know what I'm saying? I got a hard enough time getting up now to get on a treadmill, and I got a Peloton in the crib. I still got a hard time getting up. Imagine trying to get up when you up 500 million, right? You up 500 million. You're an athlete. You're a professional athlete. So you in shape and all that. Imagine try to put the extra work in. That's a different level.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, man. When I was getting numbers near there, life was hard, bro. It seemed like life was hard, bro. Because I was like, why am I doing this? Like
So
literally every day I was questioning myself, like, why am I doing this?
so here's the thing though. It's a different level of commitment, and
I'm
some
not
people.
even on those numbers.
No,
I'm just
I get
talking
that.
about.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that's why it always intrigues me. Like, how do these people motivate themselves or do things to keep themselves motivated? And so I think some of it is nature, some of it's nurture, but I think a lot of it might be nature. Some people are just born different. That's what I think. And
Yeah.
Bron net worth is $1 billion. This is true. But what I
A
was saying
billion,
is,
a billion.
that Young Bull was on a pace. I only gave you Nike in the NBA. It has nothing to do with all his other endorsements.
Yeah, Gatorade. He was on Gatorade. Like my
He was
man was,
on
he
pace.
was, he was ready to get to it.
I think it was Forbes or Fortune or one of them did a breakdown about his pace and Bron's pace. He was on pace to surpass Bron, and that's without even winning. If he tripped up and won one, that he was so that's what makes what happened to him even more disappointing. As a brand, who's bigger in terms of
Jordan.
business and influence, Jordan or James?
Jordan.
You answered that too fast.
Jordan. Jordan.
I'm not arguing with you.
Jordan has been retired for 23 years, bro, and he still got the most popular sneaker in the world. Like, come on, Jordan.
He said business and influence.
Jordan owned the franchise. Jordan owned a franchise, man. Jordan.
Jordan ran a franchise into the ground. He's terrible as an owner.
Twice. But that's none of nobody's business.
LeBron James got a lot going on, bro.
I'm not saying that LeBron is not influential, and I'm not saying he's not good at business. But Michael Jordan has been retired for 23 years, bro, 22 years. And he still got the #1 selling shoe in the world.
But I think that's one space. He said who's bigger in terms of business and influence? I'm not arguing though, bro. I'm not arguing.
Michael Jordan, man.
I just don't think it's as. I feel like how fast you answered is what I have a problem with. Not the answer.
LeBron is #2, and Magic is #3. But like
LeBron literally has 3 of his friends sitting on the board of Fortune 500 companies.
And I'm not saying anything derogatory about that. All I'm saying that
you're talking about Mike and his sneak. I'm talking about just influence.
Look at all of the coaches that were created by Mike.
What are you speaking of? You talking about the
dude that
he hired to fire?
He created Phil Jackson. He created Phil Jackson.
Oh my
God. He gave Phil.
He didn't create Phil. He didn't create Phil. He didn't create Phil. Because if that's the case, I could if you want to make the argument Mike created Phil, I could also make the argument that Phil created Mike. Has Michael Jordan ever won a championship without Phil Jackson?
Not at all.
Has Phil Jackson won a championship without Michael Jordan?
For sure, because he had.
What I'm saying is, I don't like that. I don't like that one. He didn't create Phil.
He did.
Nah, Phil was already a successful coach as an assistant coach and was on his way to being a great coach anyway. Phil has won without Phil's tutelage. Mike doesn't win. Has never won a championship. I don't want to say he created Phil, but I'm talking about business and influence, right? When you talk about business and influence, you got to look at the full picture.
I'm looking at the picture.
The sneaker is
business. Cool. In business, I would say LeBron James is going to surpass Mike, but he isn't there yet. And the influence, I don't think is close.
Because when you talk about business, right? And again, I'm not knocking the answer.
LeBron is very, very, very close.
Outside of basketball, right, which includes the sneakers. What does Mike play?
LeBron got
what has Mike done business-wise? Give me a business that Mike has impacted that has nothing to do with basketball.
I don't know. I don't know a lot about Mike's deal.
LeBron has 3 friends that sit on the board of Fortune 500 companies, right? That has nothing at all to do with basketball. He has an entertainment company that's worth almost $1 billion by itself that has nothing to do with basketball. LeBron has TV shows on probably like 5 networks right now, with another one getting ready to drop on, I think, Peacock. So again, it is what it is. But good question though, Jamil. I just, way Corey answered as fast as he did. That's kind of, I'm not arguing the answer. I think that you shortchanging LeBron.
Close, but I don't think LeBron got my man yet. When he retire, I think he's going to dust Jordan. But right now, I don't think
you shortchanging. All right, so Michael says Amazon Prime has 200 million members. So that means that if they raise $1, right? No one, maybe you lose a couple folks. Let's say you lose 10 million. It means you can
Still
raise $190
$190 million.
million. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's insane. It's insane the way they started off like selling books, and now they have 200 million members paying them $1.50 a year. Wow. 431 mil career earnings from the league. Don, who is that about? I'm not sure
That's probably LeBron.
Okay. Pat, what's up, Pat?
Hey, what's going on?
You're talking about LeBron. Not to mention Clutch Sports evaluation doesn't count because he's still a player. That part too. The number one agent in the entire NBA is somebody he put on. Like that's crazy. So it's like his influence goes beyond his name. He has other influencers that come from his tree. His tree is crazy. Jordan doesn't have a tree like that. I think NIL deals are going to change this topic. Angel Reese making more money than some NBA bench players.
I'm with that though. But see, the thing is, I think that's going to actually kill the WNBA because the NIL deals are bigger than the deals that they're getting in the WNBA. And so until they learn, listen, man, them girls are making way more women. I'm not going to call them girls. Those women, young women, are making way more money in college than they are. Like there's literally almost no reason for them to go to the WNBA.
I mean, that's the way it is now. But even with that, though, I don't know that she's making more.
College basketball does a better job of promoting their athletes than the professional game does.
But I don't think that's what it is. I think that, all right, this is a deeper conversation. But also, she's not making more than she may make more than a couple NBA bench players. But the NBA salary cap is went up so crazy that you to just be on an NBA team. I think the lowest. No one makes less than $1 million.
It's like 1.2 million or something.
Yeah, no one makes less than $1 million. Most people make more than that. Like I was looking the other day. DeAndre Jordan, who's like the 13th man on the Nuggets, is making like $3-4 million. Like he only get a game.
The two-way players, they make NBA minimum salaries when they in the NBA, and then they make G League salaries when they in the G League. But
the thing is, to your point about the college basketball marketing, I don't think that's what it is. A lot of these kids are marketing themselves. Like what it is the college basketball has a bigger fan base in terms of like the WNBA doesn't have a fan base. All the people that talked about Brittany Griner when she was going through her situation and
like 1900 people showed
to watch it. No one showed to watch it. Like so, I don't know that it's but college basketball has a when you're on a college campus, you want to go to college. It don't matter what team is playing. Like they get a certain level of support just because it's a school.
Yep.
That atmosphere in a college town with a college team is something different.
That hit different.
It hit different. All right, but anyway, let's see. Chris is in the building. People got Jordan logos. Listen, man.
Listen, man.
People got Brown logos. We live in a
we live in a weirdo society where people burn other people into their body.
We got a phrase. I call it a Koloff society. We got a bunch of Nikita Koloffs. people walk around with
you wild as hell, bro. I remember we used to call that's an old Jordan. That's a 30-year Jordan.
Nikita Koloff. People walk around with Draymond Green tattoos in 2023. We live in a wild culture right now. Yeah, we live in a celebrity worshiping culture. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but again, I'm not gonna give him just sole credit for that, right?
Magic Johnson had a lot to do with that.
But Doc before
Michael Jordan had a lot to do with that because LeBron standing on Jordan's shoulder.
And Jordan is standing on Magic and Bird and Magic is standing on Doc. Yeah. Like, so if you go back and read about Doc, they said that Doc used to walk into the game with a briefcase. Doc made it a concerted effort to call himself a businessman. Like, so what I'm saying is everybody's standing on other people's shoulders. I watched the movie this past week, Air, the Jordan sneaker, right? And then after that, I went and did a bunch of reading about what was real, what wasn't real. And I'm like, yo, based upon this, we got to put some respect on Mike's mom. Mike's mom might be one of the greatest businesswomen ever with that deal she set up. Okay, I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at the answer. I ain't mad at the answer. It just I felt he disrespected Brown a little bit.
I don't know about that. I think Magic Johnson might be matching LeBron. Magic Johnson got ownership in 3 sports teams, bro.
Yeah. Listen,
He got a part of the
Bron,
Lakers, the
Bron got
Dodgers,
two.
and the
Yeah,
Commanders.
Bron got two while playing. He owns a
Oh yeah, he owns
soccer
teams
team in
over.
front of the
Yeah,
Red
he owns.
Sox.
Yeah.
This is while playing.
Yeah.
So I mean, but this is the thing though. So Bron is setting the precedent for the next person to come and do better. This is how it's supposed to work though.
He owned part of the Red Sox and part of the biggest soccer team in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, LeBron getting to
those sneakers anyway. Yeah, he definitely sold the sneakers.
LeBron is getting way into it.
Well, you consider doing a show on the social, psychological, economic, and legacy impact of retiring after having children in your 20s and 30s, not having any children at all, having children in your 40s or 50s, or running the Trump or Pacino play. Shout to Robert De Niro and Al Pacino.
So I have experience with three of those. Well, 1, 2, 3. I got with 4 of those 5. I didn't get to the Trump and Pacino play, but I had.
So you said
I had no children. I had no children until I was 30. Then in my 30s, I had children, and then I had another 2 children in my 40s. So I'm wilding.
Yo, so what's gonna happen when you turn 70? You gonna go back? You going back for make history at 70?
No, bro. I am definitely not getting my Ronald Isley on.
Dog, Al Pacino. Shout out to Al Pacino. Congratulations to him. But I found it interesting. His BM is 29 years old, and my guy is like, how old is that? I think it was like 80 or something crazy like that. I'm like, yo,
like Ronald Isley, like 78, and his wife like
wild number, dog. I'm like, yo, you was like in your 50s when your BM was born, like.
all these old dudes is. Hey, listen, I can't talk, man, because I had a child at 45, so I'm gonna mind my business.
Yeah, but it wasn't with a 20-year-old.
It wasn't at all.
So anyway, with all that being said,
I don't have anything in common with 20-year-old women. So
that's what that's what I'm thinking about. Like, never mind.
I don't have anything in common with 20-year-old women. So
that's none of my business, man. Congratulations to him, man. But
yeah.
But to your question though, it's hard for me to really have an opinion on that because I don't know what any of that feels like. Right? Corey may have a better idea because he's went through some of them, but I don't even know how to speak about like what's the impact, especially in your 70s or 80s. I mean, black men don't even live that long. I'm not even joking. Like statistically speaking, we don't.
Yeah, Ronald Isley beating the odds right now.
I was telling my guy Pop the other day, he getting ready to turn 70. He's in amazing shape, out running and everything. I was telling him, I was like, yo, you might be the oldest black man in America as a joke. I'm like, black men don't live to be 70, man. We just don't. MJ's business moves are very lukewarm. Shaq, Magic are both better from the business side. I feel like MJ, again, I get more perspective also watching that show. MJ is MJ, right? So he was so great as an athlete that he just gets things thrown his way. The stuff that LeBron does,
leaving the athlete out too.
Like LeBron is a school. Dude is
we leaving out Tiger.
Well, because we were talking specifically about Mike and LeBron.
About basketball.
Yeah. But dude as a school, like some of the stuff he's done, but in terms of putting other people on, that to me,
nobody's put more people on in business.
That's to me is the biggest part of his legacy, man. Like,
yeah. He put a lot of people, and he put a lot of people onto the play. Like, not only did he put his folks on, but he showed other people how to. Like, Kevin Durant is getting to it right now.
A lot of folks are.
No, I'm just saying.
Everybody on Golden State getting to it. Listen, Steph getting to it. They said, I was reading the other day, they were talking about like Steph with the whole Under Armour thing. They said no one to this day knows how much equity he has in Under Armour because he didn't have to disclose it. I'm like, we don't even know. Steph might. You don't even know what he owns in Under Armour. Like, no one knows. So Brian, people could take, they take guesses, but no one really knows. Yeah, Blaze Pizza is definitely going. Shout out to Blaze Pizza. We got a couple in Philly now, near the colleges. Think about it. Some of the greatest players in the league right now, low key, work for him. Brian also created his own MCU universe with his friends. Like that to me is the craziest thing, man. Because I'm all about spreading love, and I think to me is the most.
People that still got jobs in the league because LeBron be calling on him.
As much as I don't like LeBum, he's pumping. Yo, y'all Jordan and Brown fans got to get over it, man. Both dudes are great in their own right, man. Y'all be like, slander one or the other just based upon which one you like better. Y'all got to get over that. Colleges have built-in forever fan bases, and they grow larger every year. This is absolutely true. And when you talk about tournaments, it's exciting.
And it's way more schools. It's way more schools than it is.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Teams. Oh,
The
the
Russian
Russian
sickle,
sickle.
yeah. Oh yeah, you got an old school wrestling fan here.
But see, my thing is, he said he thought you said Nikita Koloff. He did not hear the phrase at all.
I call him Dickie Koloffs, but yeah, that's either here or there. College has support for college, and not just a sport. You have to leave college when your eligibility is up. Yeah, this is true. It's amazing what LeBron has been able to do while still a player. Absolutely. 83. Baby gonna look like the y'all out of pocket, yo. Pacino having kids just to see him die. y'all gotta chill, yo. He's 83 years old. He's 83 years old, and his BM's 29. Man, MJ wasn't trying to be a businessman. All right, Champ, great point. That's a great one. I think that's what I was trying to say, but you said it very, like, just simplified and said it way better than I did. MJ gets stuff thrown his way because he's MJ. LeBron strategically does what he does, and I think that's the difference. Like when you watch the Air joint, you see like he don't really be in business for business. Like he just want to gamble and drive fast cars and wear terrible jeans. Like that's all he want to do.
Man.
And run his team in the ground.
Wow.
And I ain't mad at him either though, because it's like, yo, you got a talent, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Like you put the right people around you.
He a country boy. He an old country boy.
Listen, you put the right people around you, you should be able to focus on what it is you do great. You know what I mean? So I think that's amazing. But if y'all haven't watched that, it's on Prime too. Speaking of Prime, getting back to Amazon, it's called Air, but it's specifically about his sneaker deal with Nike. So some things are exaggerated because again, I went after watching it, like what part of this is true. But when you see and Viola Davis is amazing as an actress, but that's either here nor there. When you see what his mom did in terms of setting him up, is crazy because at that time, no athlete were getting a piece of every shoe sold. So as I sit and think about it, Mike might have one of the greatest business deals ever because all he needed is his influence, right? You talk about influencer. He's just an influencer for the most part, but he gets a piece of every sneak sold. And they said right now that nets him close to about $400 million a year. And this is before he wakes up. And this is passive. This is completely passive. He doesn't have any investment into production.
He just got to not do nothing dumb.
Marketing. He just got to walk around, wear dumb-looking jeans, and just be himself.
I think that's part of the reason why he just shut up because he was like, basically, I'm gonna make 400, 500 million dollars a year, just to exist.
Oh, yo, Jamil, that's definitely the wave right there, dog. The half pie with the half Caesar for a dime. Oh yeah, I tell you, been there because that's what I get too, dog. You know what I'm saying? With the gluten-free crust. Anyway, I'm about to hit Uber Eats right now. You know what I mean? By the way, that meme I put out there, I was talking to myself. I just happened to share with the world. Before LeBron, players really got to it after retirement, like the Junior Bridgman and Jamal Mashburns. Yeah, LeBron said, "I'm doing it while playing." Dick Ebersol and David Falk built MJ. Yo, the crazy part about MJ, right? MJ, again, timing is so important in everything. But I told y'all about that podcast where they break down the NBA's history, the history of the NBA's business. And they talked about in there how Mike came around at the perfect time with David Stern just taking over, what was going on with the NBA. Like everything was just like
it fell in his lap.
It just fell perfectly. So even with the Dick Ebersol comment, that's part of it too. With NBC getting the contract, right? Even down to the announcer coming into his own, the boy with the toupee. What was his name? The one who wore the toupee that had
Marv Howard.
That was all part of the whole thing. Yeah, he was the one that was biting chicks in their back and all that. Like literally, like you know,
got on camera caught biting the chick in the ass.
Respectfully though, I don't know disrespect to the legend, but yeah, you was out here.
Marv
Albert was out here wilding with the young Jones, man. Marv, you gotta chill, yo. MJ Mom was the star of the movie. Greg, definitely. Yo, I didn't realize till after the end of the movie, right? At the end of the movie and watching, I'm like, yo, MJ is so his presence is so powerful in a movie, but you don't even see him. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Like it's you know, but it's a dope flick though. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called Air for those that haven't seen it. But definitely, Greg, you're right. Let me get that Prime password. I don't even know my password, bro. It's in my last pass. His greatest achievement has yet to happen. If you get Bronny drafted and play with him, go till infinity. So Yo, I was laughing today. I saw someone on my timeline. I saw a couple things on my timeline today that that I was like, yo, I ain't been on social as much. I don't know if y'all noticed that or not. Like, but I have, I still be lurking. But I saw a couple things on my timeline that was crazy. Somebody was sharing like stuff from Bryce James's Facebook page. And Bryce got right in his jaw, like, DM if you want to do business. I'm like, yo, Bryce is already getting to it. Bryce running his own bag up. I'm like, yo, Bron is in the crib where Bronny already is the highest paid NIL player in the world right now.
He making like $8 million a year.
Yo, so imagine your boys bringing they holding their own. Like, I saw Bryce taking deals right now as we speak. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, because you can get NIL deals at any age as long as you still eligible for college.
Bryce out here like, yo, link in the bio. He already getting to it. Other thing I saw, which was funny, is the picture that was going like at least viral on my timeline, is that Mid-Journey picture of like black folks back in the 70s. And they were dressed to the nines, looked immaculate, but people were sharing it, and they're like, look how we were. We used to carry ourselves this way, and I'm sitting there like, that's an AI photo.
That's a fake.
So I said to someone like, this is an AI photo. I was like, yeah, but the point still stands. I'm like, yeah, but on one of them statuses, somebody was like, yo, that's my aunt right there.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it a bit.
So I know
might be their aunt because the AI uses, you know what I mean? They
was capping because someone called them capping. They said, "Oh, well, it looks like my aunt." I'm like, "Yeah, you was capping. If no one told you that, you was gonna run with that." But my point in saying that is, you see people getting fooled already. What are we gonna be looking like in 5 years? People can't distinguish real from fake like right now. I was watching it was a TikTok video somebody sent me. I don't know, I think Latoya might have sent it to me. Somebody sent it to me. But Riza Islam was talking to I can't think of the dude's name. What's the dude's name, y'all, that played on Grey's Anatomy, the black dude? They said he got blackballed for Isaiah Washington.
Yeah.
But it's a clip when they're like on, I guess, Riza's podcast, and he's talking about how you don't know what's real and what's fake when you look at news and things. And he was like, watch this. He picked up his phone during the interview. He put out a tweet. Thunder going crazy. He put out a tweet from his own page, and he said, Isaiah Washington, former Grey's Anatomy star Isaiah Washington dies at 125 years old. First of all, that sounds ridiculous, right? He put out a tweet. Within a couple minutes, it was getting reposted by major news sources. And he showed it and it was like, this is what I'm talking about. He said, no one called me. They couldn't call no family to fact check anything. Everybody's trying to beat everybody else. They took a story that's utterly ridiculous. I tweeted it out myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you got major news. Like I'm talking about the big three. They was like, I'm like, yo, this is the world we end up. You know what I mean? And then what happens is Twitter comes in later and says, they could get a little correction, but at that point, it's already off to the races. Greg said, Jim, you killed me with the dumb. Yo, y'all gotta admit though, boy, we do wearing some dumb jeans though, yo. My man Phil told me, shout to Philmatic. Check out his podcast. It's called Tissue and the Tape. He say Michael Jordan dressed like a child rebel soldier. But anyway.
Damn, why y'all be giving Mike
I didn't mean that. Phil said that. Phil said that.
Y'all be giving Mike hell, yo.
I thought it was funny, man.
I think it's funny too, but why y'all giving Mike so much hell?
You see them dumb jeans he be wearing, yo?
I do, but it ain't none of my business, man.
No, it ain't none of my business either, but it's still fun. He gonna get these jokes though. Like, listen, listen, man. His sartorial game is deplorable, man. So he gonna get these jokes.
Call my man clothes deplorable.
While we're talking about post-career NBA business, shout out to the microwave sitting on the top 10 of the Microwave Johnson. LeBum is LeVar Ball with influence. Yo, Jamil, why you calling him LeBum, man? Why you just calling the boy LeBum, man? AI photo, yeah, man. They be sharing obvious CGI photos thinking it's real. Hey, man.
Nobody has ever fact-checked anything in their life. They haven't done a research paper. I got kids that's in high school that have never done a research paper. How did you get to high school without doing a research paper?
Me and Corey, shout out to all the kids from our class in Sankofa. We just finished our first semester with Sankofa, but we were talking to the kids in the last class and we were telling them about research. And we said, make sure you always check multiple sources. And when we say research, don't just go to Google, put something in, and the first thing that pops up at the top, you run with that as fact. That's what we got to be careful of, too. There are Instagram accounts with AI characters that look real. Absolutely. At least Mike chill with that.
That was hideous. I must admit that was hideous.
Who y'all think was worse though, Mike or Tim Duncan? Because Tim Duncan used to wear some wild stuff too, dog. But Tim was the island dude who didn't care though. Like
Yeah,
so go
Tim
look up
Duncan
Tim
ain't give
Duncan's
a
photo
damn.
when he got his MVP. My man had on like Child
Yeah,
Rebel Soldier jeans shorts with like open toe sandals. He was wild.
He had on a full. He had on a lumberjack shirt and a pair of shorts. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Tim? What are you doing?
Vinny is half a bill after Bill Lambert's dad put him on the automotive parts and packing play. Yeah, I didn't know he was half a bill. I saw some new stuff. Jamil, if you can shoot me the YouTube. I'm pretty sure you saw it on YouTube. Something came across my timeline, but I didn't watch it. But I don't know how to find it now. They talked about something recent about his business moves. I didn't know he hit that high though. Those fake posts are the new stock market strategies. One post will shoot a stock in either direction. Man, crazy to think about. That's where we're at though. You don't have to fact check news. Basically, you can put out fake news, right? I'm not sure whether that was an Obama law or whatever it may be. I'm not sure. But we just got to be careful because people running with stuff as fact. And then I heard somebody tell me, they was like, well, what is a fact? They start playing this like, theoretical game. Well, what is a fact? I'm like, here y'all go. Cam. What's good, Cam? Welcome.
Jenko Jordan. Yo, y'all are murking my man.
I mean, listen, the dude is a billionaire and he be out here with Foreman Mills jeans on, dog. Like you got
Foreman Mills.
He be out here with Foreman Mills fits on. Craziest part about it is if I'm Mike, I'm just gonna rock a Mike sweatsuit. Like you got your own John. He be out here with the Foreman Mills. He be out here with the used jeans on with the rips in them. Timmy D is the index funds of players, not fancy with the job done. I know, Don.
You say used jeans. People really think them jeans is used. Used was a brand name.
Oh yeah.
Most people don't know that.
Oh yeah, you caught that. Used, definitely used, and that's how. So Tim Duncan is the index funds of NBA players, not fancy, but will get the job done. Now, I know that Tim is your guy. I was having a conversation with someone today, and I was really just trolling to see how they would respond to that. Because I was in a chat with some Lakers fans and some Spurs fans, and I was like, "Yo, who's overall better player between Timmy and Kobe?" And I just want to see what they would say. Don, I already know what your answer is.
It's not trolling. I will take Tim Duncan 100 times out of 100
over Kobe
every day.
Okay, I ain't mad. I mean, listen, I'm just again, it's one of those things where we talking about
them play in the same era, and at the time, I thought Tim Duncan was better.
We're talking about the upper echelon of things. I don't get in arguments when it comes to stuff like that.
They in the same league. It's not like they not in the same league, but I'm taking Tim Duncan.
I told y'all several times on this Friday show. I wrote a sports book.
Yes,
it's called Sports. It's called Sports the Book. Smart People Only Read the Sports. It's available on Amazon. And if you read through that book, one of the chapters of the book is called the Table of Gods Theory. I have this theory in sports where it's the Table of Gods Theory. Once you make it to the Table of Gods, you can make an argument one way or the other. So it doesn't make sense to waste your time doing it, right? You can argue for Kobe and you can use facts to back yourself up, but you can do the same thing for Tim. Same thing with the Mike and Jordan. That's why I don't get into those debates. It's a preference thing. Jordan took LL's Rock the Bells a little too serious.
Milton firing Jordan up tonight.
All right, man, we got to do our giveaway, man. All right, so here we go. Here's another analogy. Tim Duncan is the S&P. Kobe is the Apple Tesla.
Yeah.
So I heard a great analogy today on TikTok as well. A dude called Carmelo Anthony. He said he's like the Fabulous of the NBA. He said
that is appropriate.
But his breakdown was actually pretty dope. He said, listen, the Olympics medals, they like mixtapes. It's not really a championship like having a classic album, but it counts. It's like a mixtape. He was like, Melo in the Olympics was something else. He was like, just like Fab on mixtapes. He was like, but he don't got no classic album.
Melo won more than that because he won a college championship. He came into the league with a chip.
I get that.
And he was the best player on the college. It wasn't that he just won a college championship. He was the best player on a college team.
Listen, I'm not
that has not won a championship before or since. So
understood. But it all depends on how you value college championships, though, right? Because some people they don't value them. They look at
Mike won one. Okay. For me, that's why I always used to say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest player to ever live. He won 4 high school championships, 3 college championships, and 6 NBA championships. Like, My man was the goat.
Listen,
When he retired, it wasn't even close.
I made the argument that Kareem is better than Mike. Yo, y'all, I gotta let y'all into my sports writing podcast. I wrote that one time. I think Bleacher Report had posted it too. I don't know if it's still up there, but I wrote this a long time ago. Yes, I was a major sports blogger, but it's about Kareem versus Michael Jordan, the brand, and how Nike is the reason why people put him where he is. Let's see if I can find it real quick. But again, it all depends upon how you value that. It all depends upon how you value
4 high school chips, 3 college chips as the best player, and 6 NBA championships. Like you, and was the NBA's leading scorer of all time when he retired. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Kareem was that dude. He was the original. Like, people say LeBron was the most hyped prospect ever. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the most hyped prospect in history. Yeah. He is the greatest high school prospect in history, and it's not even close. It's not. LeBron's not close to that. Yeah. And it's all about when you came into the league or whatever. But as a prospect, Kareem won 4 chips, bro, coming into college.
Look at this. I found this blog. This is from, what we in, 2013? It's almost 15 years old now, and I wrote this. So here you go. It's Kareem versus Jordan the brand. This is written by me. You know what I'm saying? But it makes the argument. It makes the argument about Kareem being better. And as you can see the photo used in the blog, you know what I'm saying, is Mike getting that hook all in his face all crazy. You know what I'm saying? But as y'all can see right here, Jimmy Williams, and I'm just gonna read y'all the last line. Kareem gave Bruce Lee a fair one, and Mike can't say that. So, you know, I mean, that's all part of that's all part of it. So I just letting y'all know, you know, my sports blog game was on a beam back then too. But anyway, you can make that argument, man. But the Table of Gods theory is about, you know, go to sportsthebook.com to read that, man. Let's get back to it. Let's get ready to do our giveaway. Let me catch some of these comments real fast, and then we get into it. Don says, I'm taking Timmy over every player not named Bron/Kareem. Okay, so that's a crazy top 3. I'm not going to argue with you. He ain't trying to go broke with designer jeans. Jordan said, I'm going to
save my money.
Crazy part about it is, and I only noticed because someone pointed it out before on Twitter or something, Mike be spending crazy guap on that craziness he be wearing. Some of that stuff be expensive. Like, but that also tells me that, yo, you trying to look this way.
Yeah,
but to your point, you said something earlier.
To look like a weirdo.
You said something earlier. You was like, Mike at the end of the day is a country dude. Like, and that's
because
some country dudes get flop. He's an old country dude. People need to put more respect on David Robinson's name. David Robinson
was great. No, let me not diminish him. He was great.
No,
he's not on this level that we're talking about.
He's probably a tier right below, but he's definitely absolutely great. I mean, I saw the man score 72 points. So,
hey, listen,
I can't score 72 points against my shadow.
I watched him single-handedly drag teams to the playoffs because the Spurs had 0 time. My man, when the Spurs got him, they stunk to high hell. He single-handedly dragged those teams to the playoffs till Timmy got there. All right, go ahead. You start this because Charles is yelling in the other room.
Go ahead. I'm gonna keep reading these and I'm gonna get to the joint. So, what else we got here? It says Kareem is the greatest basketball of all time. You look at basketball at 3 levels. Yeah, I'm not gonna argue that. Ewing is one of the greatest college players of all time. 1 chip, 3 finals. Jordan messed up his other possible chip. Shout out to Pat Ewing. I remember that Georgetown team. I remember back in the day, right? I remember when I was a young boy watching Georgetown play. I used to swear Georgetown was a HBCU. Only because in my neighborhood, everybody black loved Georgetown. Everybody black had a Georgetown starter jacket. I used to swear it was a black school, but that shows you the impact that John Thompson had on the inner city. Everybody rooted for John Thompson. That's right. And Fort Bruce Lee. That's definitely part of the argument. Yeah, I see you already got the one up. We're going to get to that in a second. Cam Newton talking. Yo, Cam be out here wilding on this podcast too, man. I think Cam is out here trying to get canceled. He be saying some wild stuff. Robinson isn't top level, but he had Timmy's back. Robinson played an important role in that squad. What do you think about Gilbert, and I'm not even going to say the name, saying that Shaq would dominate Kareem, Wilt, Russell, and Jokic if you qualify eras and rules? So, I think it's hard to compare eras. I think that a lot of people haven't done their research as it pertains to Wilt specifically and Russell and all these kind of guys because people always say this they have this cliche of they played they played against plumbers and they played against this, but if you actually do the research, Wilt played against more 7-footers than Shaq did, right? And it's too many variables, right? So if I had to look at this like and I know Raphael will appreciate this one. If I had to look at this like a model, right? If I'm running a model and I have to put in different variables, right? When I look at the size of the paint is one variable, the size of the players, the speed of the game, the kind of shoes and technology that we have. There's all these variables that go into a model to determine who is better. It's just too many of them. It's too many variables, which is why it's difficult to compare from era to era, right? Because which rules are you playing under, right? Some will say that the game was made a little bit easier for Shaq, right? Because, you know, we're talking about time where you can just back someone down. 3-second rules have changed. The lane it's just too much stuff going on to try to compare it. So I wouldn't say that he would dominate anybody, right? Some people make the argument they can come in this era and dominate now. I remember having a conversation with Sonny Hill, who's also in the Basketball Hall of Fame. And I was talking to him. He's a legendary coach. And I played in this league back here in Philly as a young bull. He used to tell me, he said, look, if Wilt was able to play under today's rules, he might average 100. And I used to be laughing and all that. But I understand his perspective. It's because some will say the game has been made easier. I don't know. The answer to my question, though, to that question, rather, Jamil, is there's no answer, right? No one knows. It's all speculation. And he's speculating. I mean, he's played in the league. He has experience, but no one knows. You don't really know. I think Wilt might be the greatest athlete to ever play because one thing I know about Wilt Chamberlain is I know what he did on track and field. In terms of the high jump, you know, in terms of his running, I know what he did in the weight room in terms of lifting. Like he was just built. He was he always talk about like what would happen if you drop a player from today back then. It's like Wilt was that guy. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Ed Pinckney and Villanova. Oh man. Yeah. They ran into Pat Ewing. All right, so let me get ready to pull this up real fast so we can get to it. The wheel of names. Let's see. It says being Mo Cheeks fans, we all rate Zeke as GOAT on the court. So you're talking about Isaiah Thomas. You said being a Mo Cheeks fan, right? So I'm trying to figure out why you had to quantify asking about Zeke that you're a Mo Cheeks fan. I think Isaiah is one of the top 5 point guards ever played basketball. I really believe that. He may have been surpassed at this point by Steph, probably by Steph at this point. I still got Magic number 1 because I've never seen anything like that. But
Magic went to the chip 9 times in 13 years that he played.
I just never seen nothing like that. But Steph might be 2 at this point.
So basically, Magic was LeBron before LeBron. Because everybody compared LeBron to Mike, but LeBron's more like Magic.
Yo, Don, it's somewhere on YouTube. My conversation with Sonny Hill is somewhere on YouTube. Back when I was doing sports blog, and I talked to Sonny Hill like on the air, and he was going crazy though. He was going crazy like with his Wilt. He low key cussed me out though, because I was bringing up Shaq. He wasn't trying to hear it. As an athlete, you take Wilt over Jim Brown. Ooh. Yeah, Jim Brown was an amazing athlete as well, but I'm still taking Wilt. As a pure athlete, I'm taking Wilt.
As a pure athlete, I'm taking Wilt over everybody. Yeah,
I probably am too. Like, yo, there's a video, and you can find it on YouTube where Arnold Schwarzenegger at the time was Mr. Olympia or whatever, talks about how Wilt killed him in the weight room, and he was looking at the dude like, yo, you're not human. Let me get back to the first one. So we got Tweet Talk is the first one.
Tweet Talk is one.
Who we got next?
Dan.
All right, we got
Rochelle, Jamil, and Gregory.
All right, so for those listening, in case you listen for the first time,
your ones in the air.
Put your ones if you want to be put into our giveaway. We do a giveaway every Friday. We give away $50 worth of Bitcoin. 2 people win $25 a piece. Smash the like button while you guys are watching. And it's a random giveaway for those that that join us every week. We appreciate it. You guys already know how this works. If you win, let us know you're still here. Right? I see a bunch of names coming in now. Let us know you're still here. Shoot me an inbox. We'll call your inbox and we'll get you paid. All right. So I stopped at what, Greg?
Pascal.
Can you program Pascal? Can a white man name? That's from New Jack City. A little New Jack City flashback. Go ahead.
Chris M. Satisfying World. Tanelia. Don Trey. Ashley. Samuel. Rock Noxious. Champ. Chastity. Callie.
Oh, slow down. You said Samuel, Rock Noxious. Who else?
Champ.
All right. I know I put Rocks there, and I know I put Tanelia there. I'm just trying to, Corey going crazy.
Oh, my fault.
It's all good. Who else though?
Chaz.
And
Callie.
Going back to Callie.
Don't make fun of my red juice, y'all.
I don't think so.
Don. Cheating ass V Don. All right. Greater impact on rap. Jay-Z or LL Cool J? The hard questions.
Yeah, man. Like, why? I don't even feel comfortable answering that because
they both had a crazy impact on the game.
Yeah, we talk about 2 of the most top 10 impactful dudes in terms of that culture to ever exist. Jay-Z from the business side and how he's revered. But LL, like, people don't remember. Like, I've had to answer. He
was Def Jam. He was Def Jam for like 15 years.
Yo,
from like mid 80s to like 2002, he was Def Jam until Jay and them
I'm
came.
old enough to remember when he released "I Need Love" and everything shifted because no one
ever made a rap love song like that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to say LL and his movie career too. Yo, LL got a thing on YouTube, and I know if no one else seen this, Jamil does. Part of his channel, his Rock the Bells channel, where with him and Greg Nice, and they do this thing where they look at like the samples of hip hop songs. That's like pretty dope. I caught myself in a rabbit hole one night, 2 a.m. watching every joint on there. I'm like, damn, this is dope. Where they listen to like popular hip hop songs or even unpopular hip hop songs.
And then they try to find the sample.
Yeah, and they got a DJ on there that finds the sample and they show how they sampled it. That's pretty fire.
That's
fire. It's dope. It's dope content, man.
Now I gotta go look up LL Cool J. What's the name of the show again?
Let me see. So I'm gonna find the name of this specific joint. I'm gonna tell you exactly what to look up.
Cause I love stuff like that.
Yo, it's you gonna love this. You're gonna end up watching like 30 of them like I did. It's called
stuck in the rabbit hole.
If you look up Salute the Sample is the name of the joint.
Salute the Sample.
Salute the Sample. Yeah, Salute the Sample. LL Cool J. People bought FUBU because of LL. How he did that was still one of the illest things in marketing history. They're bringing LL back for NCIS. Oh, I didn't even know that. You remember they put Bow Wow on one of them MCIS Jones when he was on here wilding. All right, y'all. So let me read the names I got. Let me know if I'm missing anybody, and I'll give you a couple seconds to get in. But I have Tweet Talk, Dan, Rochelle, Jamil, Greg, Pascal, Tay, Chris, Satisfying World, Tanelia, Don Trey, Ashley, Samuel, Rock Noxious, Champ, Chaz, Callie, Cheating Ass, Vidon. That's who I got. If I'm missing anybody, let me give you a couple more seconds. While I'm doing that, reminder, podcast drops Wednesday. The podcast got coming up is actually I'm speaking with someone. It's an interview one, right? It's a short one, but it's with Douglas Reed, who is he's a man who wears many hats, but we're talking about the Black Excellence Festival coming to Atlantic City, New Jersey in June. That's coming out this Wednesday. And the conversation is really about black spaces, us having our own spaces. So that's going to be pretty dope. Yeah, so if you guys can make it out, if you're can make it to Atlantic City on that weekend, make sure to check that out. It's gonna be an amazing festival. You know what I'm saying? I'm hitting the festival stage to talk crazy about black wealth, you know, see if I can say something to get thrown out, something controversial, but it is what it is though. All right, so that's coming out Wednesday. What else we got? MDC Monday. We're doing Mondays at 7 now. So our Sunday class, because everybody asked, it's Monday at 7. Tanelia asked, did I miss the Bitcoin class? I've been there. You absolutely didn't miss the Bitcoin class. So what we're doing at MDC is we're doing like a full makeover of the back, like everything. You'll see soon. And the first class coming once that's done is Bitcoin class. So we'll have the Bitcoin class.
LL been in 3 classic movies. He was in Beat Street.
Yeah.
He was in Wildcats. And he was in the joint with the shark. It's the In Too Deep joint. 2 of those are definitely classics, and one was
actually, now you're going too far, man. I'm taking LL in terms of that question, but
I'm just saying.
But you're talking about
2 of those movies are classic. Wildcats and Beat Street are classics.
Wildcats?
Wildcats is a classic, bro.
LL wasn't in Wildcats, was he?
Yeah, he was.
You talking about Wesley Snipes? That Wildcats with Finch and Goldie Hawn? LL wasn't in Wildcats. LL wasn't in Wildcats.
He wasn't in Wildcats. What's the football joint he was in?
Al Pacino.
Any given Sunday. Any given Sunday.
Yeah,
I'm tripping. Any given Sunday. I remember he was in a football movie. I never mind. Yeah, it was Any Given Sunday.
Not the Finch, man. Ha ha ha. My name is Finch, and as you know, I used to watch Wildcats all the time with Goldie Hawn.
Given Sunday.
All right, yeah, but I don't know about classic movies, dog.
Any Given Sunday is. Come on, bro.
That's the end with Deep Blue Sea. You stretching classic, dog. You stretching classic, man.
Okay, let's do this. Beat Street, classic or no?
It's a classic hip hop movie. In the grand scheme of movies,
man. All right, I don't want to talk to you no more, man.
It's a classic hip hop movie. If I tell you the name of top 100 movies of all time, Beat Street is not. I said 100. It's not gonna make it.
It's gonna make it for me. I don't know. I mean, I don't listen to these critics, man. I'm talking about.
No, I'm not talking about critics. I'm talking about if you think about all the movies you've watched. And again, favorite
Beat Street.
Favorite. We're talking about the difference of favorite and best. All right, so Kahan said he already found a video. All right, I'm glad you. All right, you got it, bro. NFL wanted to ban Any Given. The NFL did ban that joint that ESPN had. They was wilding on there. They had dudes like doing booger sugar off people's cheeks. They was what's the joint on ESPN? It had Omar Gooden on it. They was going too hard. They banned that joint. Somebody tell me the name of the ESPN football joint that they banned with Omar Gooden. What's the name of that joint? And they had like football players was like snorting booger sugar off a young pale lady's cheeks. And the NFL was like, "Whoa, dog, y'all is going. It's too close to reality."
You were getting Junior?
No, his brother Omar, the boy that was on Baby Boy.
Oh shit, yeah. Oh yeah, what's the? Oh, I know. Oh
yeah, the NFL was like, "That's it. Jamil got it. Playmakers." Yeah, NFL was like, "Yo, get that off TV, dog. What are y'all doing?"
Yo, that was a TV show for a long time.
I don't know. I don't think it didn't last past one season. NFL got rid of that ASAP Rocky. They was like, get out of here. You're thinking about the other joint with what's the name of the other joint you're talking about? You're talking about the other football joint. No, that was on ESPN too, but that was more comedy. We had one of the Tia and Tamara twin joints in there.
Yeah.
That's no, not that. Playmakers was serious. Like it was more drama, but they got like they went there. Wow, Spotify canceled Jamel Hill. Ooh. Crazy. I wonder if they canceled her or she just left. Ballers with The Rock. No, that was HBO. That's not what we talking about either. What's the game? That's it. There you go, Sam. Y'all on it. The game. That's it. That's it right there. The game is the one you talking about, Corey. No, I ain't gonna front. I used to watch the game too. It was but it was more comedy. Ballers was dope too. I thought that was dope. But Playmakers didn't last one season. They was like, that was dark. It didn't last past a season and a half. They was wilding on
Nobody wanted to see the dark side of the NFL. The
Yo,
NFL was
NFL put the call in. It was like, and they said the NFL told them like, "Yo, y'all have rights to some of our games, but if you keep airing this, you won't have them anymore." ESPN made a business decision. It was like, "Well, it's a wrap." Let's get ready to spin.
rap production.
Let me spin at least the first one. I got something else to tell y'all real fast, but let's spin the first one though. Good luck to everybody out there. Remember, let us know you still here. Chris M. Chris, you are our first winner. Chris, let us know you are still here.
Congratulations, Chris.
Let us know you are still here. Real fast, in terms of like content I'm consuming this week, I just I ran through a bunch of episodes of I started watching one thing and listened to another pod. The pod is called The Blog Era, but It's The Real. It's a podcast about the blog era in hip hop, which is around like 2007 and 2012, and how hip hop blogs like kind of took over hip hop media. That's pretty dope. And I started watching this show on HBO called Love and Death. Insane, bro. It's a true story, a true crime story about this town in Texas where this chick is, this dude is having an affair with this chick and it gets like out of control. And it's a true story. Like, man, that's all I'm going to say. Do you watch Yellowstone? Yo, crazy part, Pascal, is that I haven't watched it, but people keep telling me I need to. I need to watch it.
I might actually watch that because people told me there's a lot of violence in that. So I need, I don't watch nothing without
Corey can't watch nothing that's like slow and moving. He needs like death.
I need people getting it.
But a lot of people, Pascal, a lot of people tell me I need to watch it. So if you tell me I need to watch it, I'm gonna jump on. Let me know what you think, Pascal. Is it worth watching? Chris is in the building, so you are here. Chaz says she loves Yellowstone. Chaz, what you think? Is it worth watching? Obviously, you're gonna say yes.
How many people do people really be getting offed on this joint?
Corey wants to know: is it a lot of murder, death, kill?
Like, if people not getting beat up, slapped, punched on, and getting killed, I don't want to do. I can't do regular TV. I can't do that.
Run LL J.
Yo, y'all keep telling me y'all love it. Is there violence?
MC. I'm taking you talk about MCing now. I'm gonna take Jay 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, as an MC, I'm taking Jay over both of them.
Rotten on Netflix. I haven't gotten into Rotten on Netflix. What's the other one someone told me today? My man Phil again. Phil was like, yo, you gotta watch what did he tell me? He sent me a text today and told me to watch Missing on Netflix.
I heard that.
I haven't watched that either. Haven't watched that either. It's a good story and violence. All right, there you go, Corey. Your key word is there.
Yeah, because I don't care about the story because the storyline's all the same. They all run.
So it's like is the violence on a level of like, so the violence scale we use 1 to Banshee. So Banshee's at the top of it.
There's nothing on the level of Banshee. Banshee was my favorite show.
The violence scale goes from 1 to Banshee.
Game of Thrones made it into my top 2. Banshee and Game of Thrones, and then everything else.
Yo, the violence. But Banshee even outdoes Game of Thrones with violence.
Yeah,
like
the violence in Banshee was
because you might go a couple episodes of Game of Thrones, violence. Banshee, you might not go 10 minutes without seeing violence.
Yeah, somebody was getting.
Well, I was trying to put my nephew down with Banshee, so we was watching a couple weekends ago. I put it on. Yo, no lie, within 10 minutes, they in the bar, and his guns blazing and bottles being thrown and stabbing. I was like, yo.
For me, Banshee was the greatest show ever, and I'm mad that they got rid of it so early. For me,
Ashley said that a wife
Banshee probably doesn't even make nobody else's top 20, but for me, Banshee is the greatest show.
That's because it's pure violence. It's pure violence and debauchery. So
in TV history,
I love Yellowstone. All right, so everybody giving Yellowstone. So I'm gonna talk to y'all next week. I'm gonna at least start watching it. And if y'all haven't yet, I know I got one more spin to do and I'm running my mouth. But if y'all haven't yet, y'all gotta start watching The Silo on Apple TV. Another episode just dropped today, and I'm gonna watch it once I get off here. Especially now I ain't gotta send Cajon that video because he already got it. Yo, that's my favorite new show of 2023 is The Silo. I get so caught up in it. Like, I got all these like.
Did you see the joint Poker Face?
I did, and it was okay with the chick in the casino. I did. I didn't get too deep into it because someone told me that I got to give it like more episodes. But Silo is just Yo, Apple TV don't miss, yo. They don't miss. They don't make a lot of stuff, but they don't miss. So Pascal says, yep, killing and people getting beat up. So Yellowstone is on Corey's list. And yes, there's violence. And you got a couple folks co-signing Yellowstone. It's definitely worth watching. There is violence, whiskey, backstabbing, and political foolery. Oh, man, I'm in. You have political foolery, I'm in. Hey, Corey, we got to watch a couple episodes at least so we could talk about it next week on the show.
Yeah, I'm on that. I'm on Yellowstone. And if there's not enough violence, I'm going to talk dirty as shit to y'all next week. Just so y'all know.
Just so y'all know. A snake out of a lunchbox to kill a man. Oh, man. So, Corey, you have definitely got to be a fan of John Wick.
Of course.
Yo, John Wick be wilding. They be like throwing punches when they shoot.
That's my kind of violence because it's senseless violence. It's just absolute senseless violence.
They be throwing punches as they shoot. I'm like, yo, who does that? Like John Wick. And shout out to Common too, because Common, this is gonna sound disrespectful, but it's actually respectfully disrespectful. Common does an amazing job playing a bad guy when he doesn't have to have a lot of lines. Like he just makes like crazy faces. Like when he was on John Wick, he was going crazy.
Oh, he's on that Equalizer 3. That's on my list.
Side note, he's also in The Silo. Y'all gotta watch The Silo. For the ladies in the group, Ted Lasso was real. Listen, Tanelia, Ted Lasso pound for pound might be the best show on TV. Another Apple TV joint. Apple TV doesn't miss, yo. They don't miss. I was gonna ask y'all a question, but this is going totally off topic. Equalizer 3, because someone asked me the other day. I spent too much time online. Someone was like, "Yo, what's your 5 favorite streaming sites?" It was easy for me to answer, but I was wondering which streaming sites y'all like. I'm gonna give y'all my 5 real fast, and I'm gonna spin. Mine is Netflix, number 1, Apple TV, number 2, probably Max, because now it's called Max, even though I don't own it, but I find ways to the content that's either here nor there. Mind your business. Hulu, and probably Disney Plus, just because I like watching him.
I wouldn't know because I don't pay for it.
Corey's answer to that question is Fire Stick, Fire Stick, Fire Stick, Fire Stick, and Fire Stick. It's like
Dylan.
All right, let's get the fast one out of the way, man. We running our mouth again.
Any streaming service.
Good luck to everybody. First, if you haven't yet, shoot me a message. But good luck to this next person, and let's do our spin. Make sure y'all watch The Silo, yo. Please, I gotta get somebody give me some feedback. Oh, and our winner is Satisfying Girl. Let us know if you're still here. We'll give it a couple of moments and make sure that you're still here. Because if you're not still here, we will respin because we have in the past.
As a side note, my favorite Denzel movie is Man on Fire.
YouTube $13.13 a month. My YouTube.
Don't even pay for that.
Mine is $7.99 a month. $7.99.
Mine is $8.99 a month. I got a grandfather then Joe.
So do I. $7.99 a month. Other thing too, the last month I was looking at my YouTube music. I've been listening to this one song. I have no idea what this young man is saying, but it's brought up YouTube. Let me think about it. This young man is named Byron Messiah, right? Byron, last name Messiah. He got a song called Taliban's, right? And I listened to it so much that my wife told me to stop because I just keep putting it on repeat. It's such a vibe, and I have no idea what he's saying. I told her, I was like, yo, he might be telling me to kill. He might be telling me to kill fetuses, shoot at people. I have no idea. I have no idea what he's saying. But the song, the song makes me want to get. I gotta go to Jamaica now. Like I got a trip coming up to somewhere in December. One of them islands. I'm like, yo, I gotta go now because I was thinking about postponing it. But
oh man, yo, you funny as heck.
No, seriously, man. Like no, it's not satanic verses. It's like he's from Saint one of the saints, Saint Kitts or something like that. So it's dance hall. But because it's dance hall, his accent is so strong. I don't know what he's saying, but the song is called Taliban. His name is Byron Messiah. Look it up. Song is 16 fire emojis, yo. But I have no idea what he's saying though. Satisfying World is here. Congratulations. Shoot me an inbox or email if you guys want to email us bythehoodllc@gmail.com. Again, that's bythehoodllc@gmail.com. You got a congratulations. Have you caught the Negro Middle Class on YouTube? So I'm not sure what that is. Is it a short video? Or is that a show? I'm not sure.
I've heard of it, but I never
I'm
seen
sure.
it.
Congratulations to the winners on the Colors music page. Yeah, that sounded real offensive when you said the Colors. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. You'll be all over the place.
You say the colors, man.
Oh, no, I'm not familiar with that, yo. But look up Byron Messiah, man. Tell me what you think about that song, and let me know what you think he's saying, because I won't be out here like, he might be sending out gang threats. I have no idea. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
Play that joint in public.
You gotta be careful in 2023. But yo, it's such a vibe though. Like, I'm supposed to go to Curacao. That's the album we're supposed to be going to Curacao in December. I'm like,
Curacao. I never thought about going to Curacao.
I gotta go just to put that song on while I'm in Curacao, man. So
that never came up on places I should go.
So, all right, we running our mouth. I'm gonna tell. I go to Jamaica like every year.
Yeah.
And I always stay at the Sandals in Jamaica. So I stay at the Sandals all inclusive. And they just built a new resort in Curacao. So that's why I ended up going there. They was like, yo, check out our new one. All right, so Colors have different black artists across the world be having me rapping in French.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
I ain't gonna front though. I would listen to a lot of UK rap. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean, bro?
Any UK rap. I
do.
What country? South Africa. They got a lot of lyricists over in South Africa, bro.
Hey, listen, bruv. I'll be listening to a lot of that stuff, bruv. That's my twist.
South Africa got.
I don't know about French though. You out here sounding like Boris Diaw and like Tony Parker. Like, didn't Tony Parker rap at one time?
He tried it.
Yeah, so I listen to a lot of Rimzee, Rimzee. That's my guy out there, man. Shout to Rimzee. Stogie T is ridiculous. Stogie T is ill. He's ill. Shout out to Stogie T. All right, man. So listen, Wednesday, the new pod drops. We back here next Friday. For the winners, make sure you shoot me a message. I'm gonna get you paid ASAP. And me and Corey gonna get into this Yellowstone after I finish the silo. I gotta watch a new episode because put it like this. I generally try to wait for shows to finish before watching them. Like, I'm getting ready to start Succession probably this week because I was waiting for the whole season to be done.
That's another one I gotta get into.
I do the same thing with Billions. Wait for it to be done and watch it. But the silo is so good that I can't not watch it week to week. Like, it's, yeah. Anyway, with that being said, man, y'all enjoy y'all week. Please stay safe out there. Keep us in your prayers. You know what I'm saying? As we out here navigating this world.
Yo, man, if I'm unavailable next week, it's because my emotions is all over the place.
Yeah, man. Say a prayer for my brother Corey.
I'll be, I'm good for right now. But take care of the people you love, man.
Yeah, man. Say a prayer for my brother Corey, man, and send him some love, man. But we'll see you guys next Friday. We appreciate you. Please stay safe out there, and we'll see you then. Love you. Peace.